Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Let's get going then.
Hello. Like a siren.
That is. Let's kick it off with that then. Hello everyone. Welcome to Best Team Man Round 5.
Yes!
I'm Matthew Burgess and Jared Walsh is across from me. Morning, Jared.
Mate, I've just had a look at the pad over there. Your notes from last episode or last round are still there, which is brilliant. So he's got more.
They're on the phone.
I'm a little bit late today. I think I just peaked then, but that's okay. I'll tell you why.
Tell me.
I was doing research.
Okay, I like it.
But not for this.
Oh.
So I tomorrow am going to be getting on a plane and flying to Sydney.
Yep.
Because I'm going to be emceeing the ICC T20 Women's World Cup.
So you're researching some players.
Yes. So I
hopefully
was sent,
not the Sri Lankan that got knocked out yesterday.
Well, I was sent recordings of how to pronounce certain names. It's going to be tough.
Right.
The Thailand national cricket team.
Didn't know there was a thing, but yep, go on.
Neither did I. Going through their names, it's going to be tough. I don't know how much of a role I'll have in terms of saying their names.
Yep. But this won't be new to you. You've done the Asians Champions League and all that sort of stuff, so you're used to saying some obscure names.
But I like to get them right.
Yeah, of course.
So I think if you don't at least make an effort, it's a bit disrespectful. So I'll always go to a team manager and go, hey, how do you say this? So today I'll get a notepad and I'll write down the names phonetically, how to say them.
Any funny ones that stuck out?
It's all tough. You know, the funniest name that I've ever had to say on the microphone is a footballer. I can't remember what country he played for, which is very poor of me. His name was Mardikian. It was.
It's funny that we bring up names because I said to you the other day, let's do a list of some of the funniest names in sport.
And you've got a list.
I've got a list.
You do so much more research than I do.
I know. Well, I mean, this is my top 5. I'm an Aston Villa supporter, and we've got a guy playing for us. His name is Marvellous Nakamba.
That's not bad.
His first name's Marvellous. He doesn't make my list though.
Okay. Is he a decent footballer?
He's all right.
Okay.
He's okay. There was a basketballer named Wonderful Terrific Mons Jr.
See, their parents are... There's a parents...
They must have been pissed when they named him.
Well, yeah, I saw something online last week. Some parents named their kid Legend.
Jeez, I hope he's cool when he grows up. He's another pump, isn't he? Dick Trickle.
Well, I've got a visual now.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Who's Dick Trickle?
I think he was an NFL player.
Okay.
Ron Tugnut.
I've got a story about nuts as well. I've got a couple of stories for you today.
Okay. Still Sidebottom makes my list.
Yeah, here's a good one. Tyson Goldsack.
Goldsack, yes. And this one.
Brad Dick also played for Collingwood.
Yeah, there's a bit of a theme there.
Yeah.
There was a guy, he was a Major League Baseballer, and he's a coach now, so he's a first base coach. Mm-hmm. His first name is Rusty, and his last name is spelt Kuntz.
Oh, okay.
Pronounced.
Yeah, you don't need to say that. We don't need to. Last season,
but that is
we were there.
Yeah.
This season we're not. We've grown up.
That's a legitimate name, and it's on the back of his kit.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good research. I'm glad. Yeah. I'll have to research for next episode.
That's fine.
So I'm obviously doing 5AA this year, which is great. Like, I love it. And it's every week it's becoming more familiar.
Have you been accepted?
Yeah, I was accepted from day one, which is a lot more than I can say about the show I worked on last year. I don't think I was accepted at all throughout the whole year.
Right.
However, the guys that I work with are absolutely outstanding. Like, and as a listener of 5AA, people have a perception of Stephen Rowe especially.
Yep.
But to work with him he's such a selfless performer, and they are so they are welcoming because they say to me, you add a different dynamic to the show, a different energy, and it's great. So part of my role is to do some of the credits which are associated with the show. So when we go to traffic, we'll have a sponsor's credit. Just like if people advertise or podvertise with us, we'll probably do some ads.
Yep.
So this week, just before we went on the air yesterday, the producer, Emily, said, you're going to have to look at this. And Bix started laughing. Now, Bix has got a bit of a dad joke sense of humour. He's a very funny guy, but he tells you how funny he is, Mark Bickley.
So he was across this before.
He was across it.
Okay.
So twice an hour I have to throw to traffic, 4 times a show. Now last week it was for something like the battery bar or things like that. This week it is for a hair loss pill. So it feels like a stitch up, and the website is thehairypill.com.au. So we're like serious chat, and then I go, struggling with hair loss, and I have to throw it to the traffic, and I can't keep a serious face because
the hairy pill.
All I can imagine is a testicle
as well. A couple of hairy pills.
Oh man, so it was it's a pretty interesting day yesterday. But today's the last day for a few days because can I go through my travel schedule quickly?
Yes, please do. I'm always intrigued by this because you are on the road a little bit.
Yeah, so tomorrow I'm in Sydney. I was supposed to be in Sydney for 3 days because the first game of the World Cup is in Sydney on Friday the 21st.
Are you only doing the Australian games?
No.
Okay,
no.
So they just give you a random game in a different state?
Yeah, so I'm doing a game in Sydney, a couple of games in Canberra, a couple more games in Sydney, and the final on the 8th of March in Melbourne, which is at the G that they want to pack out, and they want it to be the most attended women's sport match ever. And Katy Perry's performing, so it's going to be amazing.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about women's sport actually today, and I think we should.
Yep.
Sydney tomorrow, and what happens is you go there and because it's the first game, and it's not just like a domestic game. This is a World Cup where everyone's going to be watching.
There's a bit on it.
You need it to be right.
Yeah.
So we'll do a rehearsal. But then a few weeks before I accepted this, I got asked to do the Boomers. So I have to fly to Brisbane on Thursday and do the Boomers Thursday night, and then fly back to Sydney Friday and do that. Come back to Adelaide Saturday and do the Adelaide 36's Best and Fairest, which will be Joey Wright's Farewell.
Yep. I'm going to talk about that later too.
Good. And then next week, Canberra for a few days.
Yep.
Then I go to Sydney to do a netball bushfire charity match. Then come back to Adelaide. Then 2 days after that, go to Sydney for 2 days, Melbourne for 3 days home.
Wow.
So it's pretty. Look, it's going to be amazing because I love it. It's intense. Travel takes it out of you.
Absolutely.
Like the first couple of nights you're in a hotel room and you're like, this is sick. But after a while, it takes it out of you. But
just get me home. That's all you want.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And I don't know if you saw the Boomers squad that has been released because the NBL finals are on. The Boomers are playing their Asian qualifier,
right?
And they're playing against the Tall Blacks, the New Zealand side.
Yep.
But because the NBL playoffs are on, the NBL teams have held back all of the players from playing for the Boomers.
Right.
Which I don't like about basketball because you're a football fan, right?
Yep.
Whenever the Socceroos play,
yep,
they always go full tilt as much as they can.
And the clubs have a week off.
Yes.
So it's international week.
Yeah, they never really put a half-assed side.
No.
Like you have players like Aaron Moy flying back to Australia to play a qualifier.
Yes.
And so we've got 6 debutantes in the Boomers this Thursday night.
Right.
And half of them, I think they would be quite realistic of the fact that they're not going to go to the Olympics, these boys.
Yeah.
They're just there to put the green.
It's teasing them a bit, isn't it?
It is. I don't feel that comfortable with it. They need to fill out a squad 100%, but still it's not a massive draw card.
Is there much riding on the game?
No.
So we don't need to win to qualify?
We're qualifying for the World Cup, which was on last year.
Yeah.
So it's the really early stages of qualifying.
Yep.
But in saying that, New Zealand might put a full strength side there because the Breakers are out of the NBL.
Yeah, so they've got the resources to fill their squad and try and get an early win on the board.
Yeah, it's not a guaranteed win. We've only got about 10 minutes, so let's go through these other things quickly. Tell me what you wanted to talk about.
You were at the Crows AFLW game on the weekend. There's a lot of commentary around not enough scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've seen the game live.
Yep.
What do you think they can do to increase their scoring?
It took me to go to a game to really appreciate that it's bloody good.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about AFLW, I was at Richmond Oval where they had, 7,000 people, which is pretty good.
Yep.
I mean, 7 or 10,000, which is amazing. if you go to a game of AFLW and you try to compare it to anything in your head,
Yeah.
you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can't go there saying, all right, it's going to be like the men's, it's going to be high scoring. You have to go and appreciate it is for what it is.
Yeah.
Because looking at it, the skills are decent.
Yeah.
Like from year one,
Yeah.
there's been so much improvement and so much interest. Is the scoring an issue? If you're going to watch a high scoring game, definitely. But I think that will kind of just sort itself out.
Just naturally progress.
Yeah, I don't think you need to change the rules. Like,
No.
let's just leave it, because you know what I love most about it? The fact that I could take my daughter,
Yep.
which is great.
Yep.
In saying that, I could take my daughter to a Port AFL
course.
game, 100%. But what it allows is young women to really connect with other women and have something to strive for. There's a guy on my Facebook, because I wrote on my Facebook on the weekend, I can't wait to go and see these legendary women play.
Yeah.
And he wrote legendary, and I looked at his Facebook, because I take it personally when people troll me. This
course.
guy's got a couple of daughters and stuff, and I just wanted to say, for fuck's sake, mate, like
Yeah.
these women have a pathway to go to the highest level
Yep.
in their game.
Yep.
Give them the opportunity. If it's not affecting you, who gives a shit?
And who knows, by the time his daughters grow up, who
Yeah.
knows where that it'll be? They could
Exactly.
be full-time athletes by then, playing a full-length season.
Yep, there's
Who
a lot
knows?
of jealousy, because not many people go to the W League. Not many people go to the Adelaide Lightning. They're all going to AFLW.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But you can't go there and try and compare it to go, nah, this isn't as good as this. Oh, they don't go in as hard as the blokes.
They fucking go in hard.
Yeah, they
they
do.
crunch in. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's... I don't know. I think people are coming around. Graham Corns has finally come around too. I remember a couple of years ago, I tweeted Graham Corns and he called me and abused me.
Really?
Because I said a couple of dinosaurs talking about AFLW, and he rang me and said, was that directed at me? I'm like, yep. And then he apologised later. Now we get along fine.
Yeah. They're not great on the old constructive criticism, the Corns family, are they? Jeez, I hope they don't hear this. Did you see the interview from the Collingwood player?
Yeah, I did.
Taylor Harris.
What did you think of it?
I think she muffed her words. I don't think she meant to say that she was useless. I think what she wanted to say was, we nullify her in the air, we go a long way towards winning the game.
Yes.
I think that's what she meant.
Yep.
I don't think she meant to say that if she doesn't mark it and the ball's on the ground, she's shit.
Yes, I agree.
I think she got her words wrong, and that is purely by not enough media experience.
Yep.
And I think Taylor should probably understand that, because she's gone a bit hard on the social media comebacks.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And
She's like Bambi, though. I tried to have a chat about this yesterday, and like Taylor Harris is like, alongside Erin Phillips, the poster girl of AFLW. So if anyone says anything bad about her, everyone arcs up. The other thing I thought, it increases the rivalry between Collingwood and Carlton.
Absolutely.
Was it intentional? Maybe there was a bit of intention to kind of spice it up and get people talking.
Maybe.
And we're just not used to it.
No.
In any, not just women's sport, in men's sport in Australia as a culture, we are not used to people trash talking. In America, they do it all the time. We're not used to it. So we all freak out and everybody jumps on board.
Yeah. No, absolutely. The AFL Grand Final staying as a day game. That was announced yesterday. Surprised by that or not really?
I don't really care, to be honest. Like, people think that if it's going to be a night grand final, and you and I have spoken about this, they think if it's a night grand final, we're going to get like Queen to come and perform with J-Lo and Shakira at halftime. It won't happen. We'll still get Birds of Tokyo or Vance Joy. Yeah, exactly. That's still going to happen.
Yeah. I think the best one was 2010 replay, Lionel Richie.
That was great.
Amazing.
Yep. The Killers were pretty good.
Killers were good.
I didn't mind the Killers.
Black Eyed Peas were a bit
bit
lackluster.
Yeah.
Will I Am was on his phone tweeting.
That's right, he was, wasn't he?
I don't even know if Fergie was there. I can't remember.
No, I don't think she was.
I was a nervous wreck.
I love Fergie. I did.
Do you know much about the State of Origin game that's coming up in aid of the fires?
Yeah.
Have you seen much about that this week?
Yeah, I've seen that a couple of players are playing, which is great.
Dusty's going to play.
Dusty's playing. Trent Cotchin's going to play.
Do you reckon they'll have a crack, or is it just going to be a token sort of event?
Yeah, I think you're going to have a crack to the point of not going in. I reckon they'll go in 80%.
Yeah.
Because they've got round one in the back of their mind.
It's not far away. Yeah.
Exactly. And you can't...
You don't want to be injured.
Do you reckon they're getting paid to play? And that can't be like, they can't publicise that.
They won't be able to because it's a charity game.
Yeah. But they need an incentive to play.
Well, absolutely they do.
Because a lot of
that's
them,
what I'm saying. They can't publicise it if they are.
Yeah.
They can't come out and say, I'm getting $5,000 for playing this.
I went to the Victoria versus All Stars game in 2008 at MCG.
Yes.
It was all right. Like,
the squads were unbelievable.
yeah, it's hard to like know who teams were supporting because like Hawthorn were just about to win a flag that year,
Yeah.
and Buddy was playing for the All Stars. I think.
All-Stars.
And Favola played well. Judd,
Jonathan Brown.
yeah, like
Bartel.
I think McLeod was playing for the All Stars.
McLeod would have played.
Burgoyne,
Yep.
yeah. So
Lutton, yep.
they were big names.
Would you like to see State of Origin back on each year?
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I kind of missed the State of Origin thing because I wasn't living here when it happened. So I
Yeah.
was in Tassie at the time.
Right.
So I was not around how powerful
Yeah.
like it was at the time. I always remember Ted Whitten going around the MCG in that car though. In the State of Origin time.
Yeah. I don't know. So I grew up watching it. My dad played 4 State of Origin games.
Did he?
Yeah, he did for South Australia.
Yeah, right.
Yep. So it was sort of, it was presented to me from a very young age.
Yeah.
So I used to love watching it. I thought it was great.
Did you watch the All-Star game yesterday?
No,
No.
I didn't. Apparently it was pretty average.
They tried in the last quarter,
Yeah.
which is good. The dunk contest on Sunday,
Was it better than the last 10?
by far,
Okay.
like one of the best I've seen.
What was the controversy? I saw you write something.
Okay, so Aaron Gordon, who plays for Orlando, got 4 50s.
Yep.
Derek Jones Jr., they ended up with the being the top 2.
Right.
And then they go to a dunk off because they were level at the end of it. And Derek Jones Jr. ended up winning. Aaron Gordon dunked over 7'5" taco
Saw
fall
that.
from Boston.
Yeah.
So his issue was saying, no, it's a best of 4 dunks, and I got 4 50s,
Yeah.
and Jones Jr. didn't. He did a windmill from the free throw line. I reckon Gordon should have won.
Right.
And he takes it really seriously as well. Like he's real, like, it's over, baby. I got 4. I should have
Yeah.
waxed shit. Oh, shit.
I like it.
Hey, we got to wrap this up. It's a short one, but we're back. We'll come back early next week as well. I got to say, Port Pirates Soccer Club.
Yes.
Been in touch with them.
Beautiful.
We're on board.
Okay.
So I've got a contact number, meaning that we're going to go down there and you and I can do some crossbar challenges
Yes.
and all stuff
We'll
like that.
film it.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll go watch one of their games. So
Yep.
we'll get on board with them. It's a new service. So we've got a team
Yes.
in the northwest suburbs.
I like
the
it.
Port Pirates.
I'm keen for some activities, bit of crossbar challenge and stuff like that, like
Yep.
you mentioned. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, we'll make sure we do that. We've also locked in a venue for our function at the Alma, which
We'll
is
have a
going
date
to be
soon?
Yes.
Yep.
And we'll also have a date of the function.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Glenn Aikman's still in jail.
Is he?
Yeah, he is.
He wrote me a letter, actually.
Did he really?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
Very
well, this
good.
has been a great short one.
Awesome, mate.
Early in the week as well.
Yeah, very early in the week.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's good to see you.
You too, mate.
Let's shake hands.
Done. Enjoy the Cricket World Cup.
Hey, I'll be in touch.
Yes.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.